Rabotai, welcome to our Monday night shiur. Our first day back from the holidays. Chassidut teaches us that Rosh Hashanah doesn't end on Hoshana Rabbah, on Simchat Torah. Doesn't end on the last day of Sukkot. It's not really the last day of Sukkot. Simchat Torah. It's a holiday within itself. It ends on Zot Chanukah, the last day of Chanukah. In fact, the Chassidut explains, many people say the Ari says this. The Ari never said this. They like to pin, whenever they don't know something, they say the Ari said it.
Everything is Ari.
Everything is the Ari. Either that's the Ari or the Zohar.
Bichora Ari.
We got, get some monkeys on your shoulder. Alright. So it's a Chassidut, it's a Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov says the last day of Hanukkah is the Chotam Shebechotam Shebechotam. It's the seal of the seal of the seal.
3 seals.
There's 3 seals. Hoshana, Yom Kippur is the first seal. It's the Chotam Harishon. Hoshana Rabbah is the second seal. Last day of Sukkot, we stay up all night, is the second seal. Last day of Hanukkah is the last seal. That's it. Now it's Mamash. Now the year has started Mamash.
Now that you start, right?
That's it. How do we know? What month are we in right now? Tevet? Tevet, there is no holidays. Only one fast day, the 10th of Tevet, and another 9 days, excluding today. There's going to be a fast day, the 10th of Tevet. It's the day that Nebuchadnezzar, Rasha, broke the walls of Jerusalem. The Chachamim say, it's actually a Kabbalistic thing, that Asara B'Tevet was a greater tragedy at its source than Tisha B'Av. The 10th of Tevet is a greater tragedy than Tisha B'Av, because it commenced the beginning of all the destructions. 10th of Tevet.
That was the first one?
Yeah. That's why Tisha B'Av is what day of the month? It's the 9th. It's the 9th. Tevet is on Asara B'Tevet is on the 10th of Tevet. Tisha B'Av is the longest fast. Asara B'Tevet, it's the shortest fast. Winter time ends really quickly. So when we're getting into these winter months, Tzadikim, we start with a parasha that's, I call it the most climatic, one of the most climatic parashas in the whole Torah. Vayigash. In Vayigash, we have number 1, Yosef HaTzadik reveals himself to his brothers. The Yesod reveals itself. We know the world runs on 10 sfirot. Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, Chesed, Givurah, Tiferet, Netzachot, Yesod, Umalchut. The sfirot are not judged, these characteristics are not judged, these vessels are not judged by their how high they are. Keter is the highest, so it's the most beloved. No. In fact, the Zohar HaKadosh says, and this is the Zohar really says, that the Yesod, Yosef, Achi Chaviv, it's the most Chaviv. Yosef is the Yesod, it's the Brit. It's the foundation. The foundation is the most beloved. It's the most loved Sphira. Why? And now I'm going to teach you guys something. The secret of the first sentence of this week's parasha, the Zohar HaKadosh in Parashat Vayigash goes on and says such a beautiful, it's almost like a drama. What's going on in this week's parasha? And it's all the first pasuk. And it's so relevant for today. Like somebody was telling me today, what's happening. History is like, it hit, the Telsa, those Telsas, they, Teslas, you know how fast they go? Those things, that's how history is going right now. It's hitting like supersonic speed. The world is going at an extremely fast pace. And it's as if the history and the parashiot are correlating, and they always correlate. And inside, we have what's been happening in Hanukkah itself, 6 anti-Semitic attacks, not regular ones. It ended with last night, 2 nights ago, on the last night of Hanukkah with Motzei Shabbat, second to last night of Hanukkah, with a person, a Gentile, walking inside a shul in Monsey, a Hasidic shul with a machete. You know what a machete is? One of those, it's like half a sword, yeah. An assassin sword. Chops wood, exactly. He walks inside during the lighting of the candles, during the kindling of the candles. He locks the doors and he says, "Nobody's leaving." And he starts to chop down, mamash, 5 innocent people. Most of them were on wheelchairs. Mamash, chopping down. We live in America, and we lost our sense of confidence in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We feel so assured in ourselves. We feel so good within ourselves that we've lost sight that really Hashem runs the world. The brothers, the Shvatim, and it's really correlating with the parasha, when they put in jail, the Mamloes says each one of the brothers, what does it say in last week's parasha? I'm going to read it to you inside so you guys don't think I'm making stuff up, you know. Sometimes you hear people talk to you and they're like making stuff up. God's talking to them. It says over here, Yosef HaTzadik sends his son, Menashe. He was his right hand. His translator. He sends him after the brothers. They get drunk together. They're having a party. The first time they got drunk in 20 years. First time. Why? When they saw their father was so distraught, they canceled alcohol. That's it. Kiddush was on grape juice. There was no kind of thing, alcohol in their lives. Yaakov suffered so greatly, they could not bear to drink alcohol anymore in their lives. The alcohol, it's a subject within itself. How do we use it? Unfortunately, it became a recreational thing these days. Much like marijuana, weed. Alcohol has to be a means to an end, not the end within itself. You understand? And unfortunately, we've abused that. The brothers, when they saw that Yaakov Avinu, their father, that they caused such distress to their father, they swore, they became Nazirs. That day when Yosef HaTzadik brought them into his house and he slaughtered the sheep, when they saw he slaughtered the sheep, they said something was wrong over here. Why is something wrong? The sheep is their god. It's a symbol of their god. They worship Aries. Aries is the month of Nisan. The month of Nisan is a ram. When he saw them, he's like, something is fishy over here.
But why was he allowed to shed them?
He was allowed to slaughter, but you know what? There was a Ben Noach. People who are, back then, they followed the halachot of Bnei Noach. Bnei Noach, that slaughters an animal, if it's correct, even if a monkey slaughters an animal, you can eat it. Did you know that? That's the halacha. If he does it correctly, the monkey, it's mutar. It's not, yes, it's allowed. You don't have to have kavanah. As long as it knows how to slice, when to slice.
The Egyptian knew how to slice. Like you say,
that's what they saw. They saw Yosef doing that. Yosef did it.
Right. No, but I'm saying the Egyptians, if this was their god,
yeah.
Right? And they see that
Yosef was slaughtering. Yosef was doing the shahidah.
How is it allowed, he said?
To whom?
How is it allowed in Egypt to slaughter a sheep?
That's why, what does it say in the Pasuk? When the Egyptians saw that, they didn't want to eat in the same room. They can't say anything to Yosef. Why? They're in the middle of a famine. If he made them all have Brit Milot, you think they're going to open their mouth if he's slaughtering a sheep? I said this on Shabbat. Guys, could you imagine the power of Yosef? The whole Mitzrayim got a Brit Milah. Talk about power.
Who's preparing them
for the future? That's true. But at the same time, let's look at in different lens. Look at the power of Yosef. The whole Egypt got a Brit Milah. Paro was afraid to say. Look at Rashi. What do we say in Shabbat? What did Paro say? Guys, don't mess with him. You guys all stored food. Everything got rotten. One more word. This guy is gonna bring havoc upon us. Let's not mess with this guy. He says, "Get a Brit Milah. Get a Brit Milah." The brothers go inside to Yosef HaTzadik. He has a goblet of wine, a silver goblet. The Torah specifically says it was a silver goblet. Why did Yosef use a silver goblet? He was hinting something to them. Zahav is gvura. Zahav is gold, it's gvura. Kesef is what? It's chesed. Chesed. He was hinting them, I come from Abraham. I come from Abraham. You guys didn't hear the news, didn't get the Instagram messages, you didn't get the Facebook feeds. I made everybody get a Brit Milah. Hello, who did that? Who was the one who got a Brit Milah first? Abraham. Get the hint, guys. I didn't get the hint. What did they say? They were people. What did they do? They decided to get lost in the moment. They got drunk. They drank. What is it? They drank and they got drunk. What does that mean, Gabriel? What does it mean? They drank and they got drunk. Usually, you drink, you get drunk. These guys, if they drink, they're Sfaradim. They don't 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. That's it. When they drink to get drunk, they have to drink and get drunk. That means they purposefully got drunk. Purposefully got drunk. Why? When you get drunk, your secrets come out. Nichnas yayin yatsa sod. Purim is coming up in 2 months, 2.5 months. Nichnas yayin yatsa sod. The year is passing by, Avraham. It's already half a year. When the yayin comes in, so it said, we're going to get drunk. Yosef is going to ask us, what's going on over here? Chachamim, tzaddikim. We're going to tell them the truth. We're not afraid. These brothers, the Shivatim, our forefathers, were so strong. When Menashe brings them back to Fostat, Cairo, the capital, it says over here, I'm going to read you the pasuk. It says over here, V'yikru'u simlotam. They ripped their clothes. They ripped their clothes. At that moment, when they found it in Binyamin's sack, Rashi says, the Shivatim says, you're a thief. The son of a thief. Your mother was a thief. She stole the terafim, the avodah zaras, and you're a thief. They wanted to kill him. The brother said to Binyamin, if it wasn't for Yehuda, for Judah, taking divine responsibility, that means he put his olam haba on the line to bring Benjamin back, they would have killed him over there. They would have killed Binyamin, chas v'shalom. It says over here, Veikrosim lotam deir. That's from here. We know the halacha. When you hear bad news, you rip your clothes. V'ya'amos ish al hamoro. What's v'ya'amos ish al hamoro? They each came with a duffel bag, and Yaakov filled the whole. Yosef filled the whole thing with grain. Usually, there's a halacha in the Torah. When you see somebody pick his bag on the donkey, you have to help him. It's a mitzvah. If you ever see somebody walking in the shopping bags, it's a mitzvah from the Torah to help him carrying his shopping bags. Did you know that? That's why a long time ago, remember, I asked, who's moving over here? I want to help him move his stuff. It's a mitzvah min Torah to help somebody move, to help somebody with hard weight. It's a min Torah. It's a biblical mitzvah. The Torah says, "V'ya'amos ish al hamoro." Every man put the duffel bag with the grain. You know how heavy grain is when you fill it up? On its donkey by himself. Rashi says, what does that mean? Look at Rashi. Ba'alei zero'a ayu. They were extremely strong. Velo hutzrichu l'sayea. They didn't need any help. No one needed to help the brother. Each one was strong enough to put the grain on his donkey by himself. What is Rashi coming to teach us over here? It's a chidush in Rashi. Listen to this Rashi. Rashi's coming to teach us when is a person weakest? Even if he's strong, when is he weakest? When he hears bad news. When you hear bad news, you're weak. You could pick up 200 weights and stuff like you're weak when you hear bad news. Even though they ripped their thing, it means they felt avelut at that moment. Why did they feel avelut? Because their brother was just about to lose his olam haba. Yehuda put his life on the line over here. That means the guy is about to lose his olam haba. They ripped their clothes, but still they were strong enough to pick up the whole thing by themselves. And what does the pasuk finish? Even stronger. Vayashuvu ha'ira. They came back to the city. Which city? Rashi says, he shouldn't have said Vayashuvu ha'ira. You know where they weren't going back to a regular city. They were going back to look at Rashi says, Mitropolin ha'ita. It was a metropolis. Where Yosef lived was the metropolis of Egypt. Egypt was the strongest power at that time. They were going back to the metropolis of Egypt. The city, the capital of Egypt. What does the Torah say? They just went back like to a regular city. You know what was going on in their heads at that moment? Look at Rashi. Guys, learn Rashi. Every week, learn a little bit of Rashi. How could the pasuk say they were going back to the city if they were going back to the metropolis, to the capital? Ha'ir korshehu. In their eyes, it was like a town with 10 men. שלא הייתה חשובה ביניהם. They weren't scared of the people inside. אלא כעיר בינונית של 10 בני אדם לעניין מלחמה. They were ready to make war, and when they looked at the city, they saw not hundreds and thousands of people. They saw 10 guys over there. Each one was ready to make war over there with the capital of Egypt, with Yosef HaTzadik. These guys were not regular people. And yet Abraham, what happened over here? What do they do when they get to Yaakov or to Yosef? What does Yehuda say? Yehuda stands up, he makes his... What did Reuven do? When Reuven found out about the whole thing, they were in jail. Remember, Reuven was in jail. He said, I told you guys, don't mess with the boy. And now God is asking for his blood. Reuven, he was right. And the Ari says, Reuven is the Gilgul of Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol. Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol is the Gilgul of the Ari HaKadosh. But Reuven, he reminded them of their mistake. That's why later on, when Yaakov didn't want to give Benjamin, what did Reuven say? Kill my kids. You know what Rashi says over there? Should I turn to the Rashi? I'll tell it to outside. You trust me? Rashi says, Bechor shoteh. You nonsensical firstborn. It's your kids and not my kids. Mm-hmm. At that moment, he kind of lost his... he lost the touch. Yehuda, at that moment, he didn't go to Binyamin and say, I'm going to smack you in the face for what you did to us. What does he say? He goes on all four to Yosef and he says, Man nomal Adoni. What shall we say to our master? To our master. Man nedaber, man nitzdadak. What shall we say? How shall we be righteous? Ha Elohim matzah et avon avadecha. God has found the sin of your servants. No one we say that pasuk. Who could tell me? In Selichot. Thank you very much. It's one of the famous things in Selichot. We say this pasuk. This Yehuda's thing. He tells him, Yehuda says, listen, Yosef, you are a viceroy of Egypt. Just because they were strong didn't mean they're going to use their strength to fight Yosef. Just because the Jewish people are a united front doesn't mean we have to use our strength to battle anti-Semitism. We shouldn't think that our strength will win us the war. It's not our strength that will win us the war. Yehuda got up on all four to Yosef. He saw Yosef as an Egyptian. And don't think Yosef didn't look like an Egyptian. Who in 2 weeks is going to be by the will and they're going to call him an Egyptian? Moshe, is he Semitic? Yes. He's Yehudi, he's a Levi, he didn't work a day in his life. He goes to the well. What do they say? What did the girls say when they went to their father? Ish Mitzri. He's an Egyptian. Don't think Yosef didn't look like an Egyptian. He looked like an Egyptian. Yehuda went down on all four. He was an Oved. He thought he was an Oved Avodah Zarah. What does Yosef say to him? Khalil Ali. Look at Yosef's language. He gives him another hint. Ronen. He gives him another hint. Yosef gives another hint to the brother. He says, Khalil Ali. Who speaks like that, Khalil Ali? You're the viceroy of Egypt. Put him in jail. 1, 2, 3. Smack him straight back and forth. What do you mean, Khalil Ali? Suddenly you have values? Don't you remember the brothers, your grandmother Sarah, she went over there and she was kidnapped by Pharaoh? And suddenly this guy is saying, Khalil Ali, God forbid. What does that mean, God forbid? Suddenly God forbid? Oh, this guy has Yirat Shamayim? Now look what he says. Ha'ish asher nimtza hagavia b'yado hu yeh li aved. The guy who's found the goblet in his hands, he's going to be my slave. Va'atem and you alu l'shalom al avichem. You guys are going to go back to your father. What was he hinting to them? Another halacha. If a person gets something stolen in his possession, if he steals something, and he's with a crew, and they find a stolen object in one person's bag, do all of them get accounted for? It's a halacha. Or do the guy who's found it inside his possession gets accounted for it? Only the one that it's found in his possession, he has to get sold as a slave, as with the halacha of Eved Ivri. So Yosef was hinting to them again, guys, I know halachot. Only Binyamin is going to be my slave, not the rest of you. When Yehuda hears that, he gets crazy. I'm going to tell you this because I'm going to tell you guys a secret right now. It's a secret of secrets. because I didn't reveal you guys the secrets on Shabbat before Minha, I'm going to reveal it to you guys right now. Everything that's happening in this week's parashas, it's going to happen again and again and again, and it's going to happen again before Mashiach comes. Everything is a mirror image, ma'aseh avot siman lebanim, where our father's actions is a sign for the children. When Yehuda hears that Yosef is adept in taking Binyamin as a slave, he does something. The brothers all go back, and this is the secret. Now listen to this, guys. How come out of all the Shvatim, all the 10 tribes, the only tribe we have left today is Judah and Benjamin? When Yosef told the brothers, I'm taking Binyamin as a slave, the only brother who stood up, who took a step forward, was Yehuda. He took responsibility. Until today, he's taking responsibility. Vayigash elav Yehuda. The Ma'am Lo'ez says there were 5 signs that Yehuda was getting angry. Number 1, I don't remember all of them. I'm just gonna say it as I go. Number 1, from his right eye, he started to bleed. Number 2, he wore 5 garments of clothing. He had in his chest, he had a hair. When it stuck out like a needle when he got upset, and it pierced all of his clothing. And number 3, he used to chew metal. The Ma'am Lo'ez says he could take a piece of metal and chew it with his teeth. That's why Yaakov Avinu in Vayechi, what does he bless Yehuda with? Uleven shinayim mechalav. Your teeth will always be white. What does that mean? What? He's blessing he's gonna have white teeth? Today we could go to any dentist. He's blessing him that it's always gonna be healthy. He's never gonna need dentures. Why? Yehuda used to like to bite things a bit too much, so his teeth should always stay inside his mouth. And by the way, healthy teeth is a sign of a strong yesod. The Rambam says a sign that a person has a strong yesod, less hair falling out, and strong teeth. That's what the Rambam says in Hilchot Deot. Maybe Refuah has changed a bit since then. That's what he said. I mean, granted, it was 900 years ago. But he still said it. Torah doesn't change. Vayigash elav Yehuda. Yehuda approaches. Thank you. Approaches Yosef. Vayomer, and he says, Bi Adoni. Look at his language. Respect. Did he have a gun? Ma'am Lo'ez says, Yosef, let them carry their swords with them inside. If you have a criminal coming to you, going to let him carry a sword? You can take all his weapons away. He's coming in carrying his sword. The Ma'am Lo'ez says he came taking the sword. When he was there were brothers over there. He told each brother, there were 12 sections in Egypt, 12 gates. Each one of you guys take one section. I'm going to take 3 sections myself. Yehuda said it. I'm going to take 3 sections myself. Yosef saw that Yehuda was getting upset. The Ma'am Lo'ez says, right away, Yosef calls 70 of the strongest elite guards of Paro. They come inside. The brothers all start to stomp their feet. Just stomp, like getting ready for war. Their teeth started to fall. It says, V'hakol nishma. I'm going to read you the pasuk. I'm not going to make this stuff up over here. It says, V'hakol nishma bet Paro. And the sound was sounding in the house of Paro. What did they hear? What did Paro hear? They heard the sounds of war. The brothers were getting ready. Why? When you mess with Olam Haba, I'm ready to give up my life. I'm not ready to give up my Olam Haba. Yehuda says, if I lose my Olam Haba, all of you guys lose your Olam Haba. Why? Mashiach comes from who? Comes from me. If you guys lose me, you guys lose everything. Yehuda says. The brothers were ready to go to war. Yosef saw that Yehuda and the brothers were ready to cause havoc in Egypt. Right away, he calls his son Menashe. Remember Menashe? Menashe, last week's parasha, he gives Shimon one. I'm going to read you Rashi. I read you guys this Rashi on Shabbat. Shimon told the brothers, you guys leaving me in jail? I want to see who could put me in jail. Right away, Menashe, Yosef sends Menashe, gives him once. How old was Menashe? He was 9 years old. He was 9 years old. He gives him one stira in the back of it, right? Where did he give him his, what does he give him? What does Rashi say? Look at the Kabbalistic power in Rashi. He gives him a hit, Rashi says, in the back of his head. In Kabbalah, in Torat Hasod, which the Dalad of the Tefillin is compared to who? Leah. Leah. Who's Shimon's mother? Le'ah. The tefillin sheliat is Rachel. He gives him one smack in the back of his head. Rabbi Chaim Sinvani, when he used to bless people, he used to put his hand in the back of his head, like this. Not over here, but over here he used to give a bracha. He gives him one smack. Shimon says, what is this guy away? This is only the power of Bet Abba. Right away, takes him, puts him in jail. He calls Menashe, there was a granite marble over there. Tells him, give one kick over here. He gives one kick, the marble granite column becomes the dust. The brothers start to get upset. Yehuda is not willing to give up his olam haba. He comes, he's about to take out his sword, fight Yosef. This is the story of the Jewish people from the day of creation till today. From the time God wanted to create Adam, there were two forces of angels. One forces of angels said, create Adam. One forces of angels said, don't create Adam. The forces of angels that said, don't create Adam, were the angels that were the 12, that were the brothers, the Shvatim. The forces of angels that said, create Adam, were who? Yosef. Etz Hadat. Tov Vera. What's Ra is not bad. Ra is not evil. Ra means negativity. Yosef and the brothers. Right away they're fighting. Throughout the generations. Each one, plus, minus. The only thing that could bring everyone together is the Torah, the neutral column. They didn't have Torah back then. There was no Torah. They're coming to a fight. Yehuda is about to fight. He wants to take out his sword. It gets stuck. The sword gets stuck. He said it's a sign from Shamayim. It's a sign. And he says, that's when he starts. Be Adoni, please my master. Yidaberna avdecha davar be'oznei Adoni. Let me speak something in your ears. Who here learned Otzrot Chaim? Why did he specifically say, let me say you something in the ear? Neshama, you're close. No Shevira, exactly. Which Olam? Olamot?
The second one.
Oh, Nikudim is the Shevira. Where is there no Shevira? What's the source of the Shevira? Nikudim didn't get, the world didn't get the ore from which Olam? You have Oz and Chot and Peh. Which one didn't get the Shevira? The Oz and didn't get the Shevira. It says, Yidaber na avdecha davar be'oznei Adoni. Let me give you something from the Oznaim. You see, when you put yourself down, you're kalecham. Worlds open up. Don't get upset. Why? Upset is breaking. Why? When you get upset, you break things. Nikudim, Olama Nikudim, it broke. But when you have Oznecha, when you have Orod HaOzen, there is no Shibira. Guys, you see the Pasukim work? Do you see this, Rabotai? We're putting stuff together that wasn't from the time of the Ari HaKadosh. Ki kamocha ki Pharaoh. You are like Pharaoh. Why did I say you are like Pharaoh? Pharaoh is the world of Bina. Sag de Sag is what? Bina. Adoni sha'al et avadav. You asked your servants. Hayesh lachem av o ach. Do you have a father or a brother? Do you think we would lie to you? Did you think we would lie to you? We are the sons of Yaakov. Yaakov is what? Tiferet is what? Which characteristic? Emet. Truth. Our Father is truth. Can we lie to you? And we answered you based on what you said. What happens when you say the truth? The Yesod can't handle the Shefa anymore. There is the dam, there's a dam, and the Yesod, the foundation, gets filled, and Yosef can't handle it, the Yesod can't handle it anymore. And what happens? It explodes. There is a zivug. What did we say is a zivug? It's a clash.
It's a unity.
It's a unity. When there is a zivug, there is bracha. But who's the one who initiates it? The Yesod. Yehuda is the Malchut. This whole story you're reading over here is a drama. Lahavdil. Between the Yesod and the Malchut. Shem Havaya and Shem Adonut. Havaya. That's why this whole parasha is what? Adoni, 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 Adoni. You could read it as what? Amonai, Amonai, Amonai. Amonai is the Malchut. What's the story over here, Rabotai? Make the zivug. Bring Havaya, bring Adnut together. Amen. What's Amen? 91. 91 is what? Havaya Adnut. There's a lot to say about this week's parasha, and there's a lot more to speak about. We started talking about a little bit what's going on in the world. I cannot explain everything in one sitting, but I'm just gonna let you guys know one thing. Every person who knows how to bring the Shem Havaya, the Yosef, and the Shem Adonut and the Yehuda together, Vayigash Elav Yehuda, there is no pegara, chas v'shalom. There is no bad things happening to that person. If you know how to make a unison, a zivug between Yosef and Yehuda, nothing could come between you and Hashem.
Why did they say anything that way?
Everything a Jew does is a zivug. Everything. From the moment you wake up until you go to sleep, including your sleep, is a zivug. We are all obsessed with tzaddikim. You know, we're obsessed with tzaddikim. Today somebody called me. Says, you know mekubalim, he tells me. I said, what's a mekubal to you? What's a mekubal? I want to know, what's a mekubal? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. We're obsessed with spiritual people. You, inside of you, have that power. You inside of you have that power. You have that power. You have that power. You have that power. Why don't we want to bring it out into kinetic energy, into fruition? We're lazy.
Malchut, yo Malchut.
We're lazy. That's the challenge of our generation. The afar. The afar is what? The element of earth. What did Yehuda do over here? He broke his element of Malchut. Malchut is the earth. What did he say by Yehuda? Vayigash Yehuda. Who took the first step? Yehuda. The earth took the first step. The afar. You want to do something? Break the laziness. I don't know what's happening in our situation, guys. I have no idea. My guess is as good as yours. I'm not a Navi, not a Ben Navi. I do know one thing. As long as there is a Bet HaKnesset that's doing Yichudim, and they want to be Oved Hashem ba'amitut ha'inyan, nothing could get in their way. But you have to be Oved Hashem be'emet. Yehuda could have said any time, how is your father? Kakoi father. Who is your brother? What brother? But I'm the son of Yaakov, I'm emet. Vayigash elav Yehuda. Yehuda could have made 1,000,000 exclusives to Yaakov. He was a grown man. How old was he over here? He was 50 years old. He was a grown man. He could have told his father, you have a problem with your son? Listen, I didn't steal, he stole. I have my wife, I have my kids, I'm going to grant. No, I have responsibility. We all have responsibility. That's the secret to everything. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless us with bracha, v'atzlacha, parnasa, refuah, yeshuot, v'chod mitzvah, baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen v'amen. V'chanu v'kasher, amen. רצה וצדקות את שלח יבלם תום שנה יפת זמן צדקו. יגדיל תורה ויאדיר קדיש על ישראל.